Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to our portrayal of Romeo and Juliet, a story of love. Oh, my favourite. The story takes place in the romantic Italian city of Verona many, many years ago, when ladies wore frocks and men wore tights. Nice. The Montague and Capulet families, to which the young ill-fated lovers belonged, had a long-running feud between them. Oh dear. Romeo and his cousin attend a ball in the house of Capulet, wearing masks. Very clever. And may I say, well done, boys. Too many people not obeying the rules at the moment. I hope they took their sanitizer. Anyway, Romeo meets Juliet, and of course they fall head over heels in love. Oh, sweet. Later that same night, Romeo returns to the house of Capulet. He climbs over the orchard wall and finds Juliet sitting at her bedroom window. They vow eternal love for each other and arrange a secret meeting. But before the two lovers can meet, Mercutio, who is Romeo's cousin, and very manly, is killed in a sword fight by Juliet's cousin Tybalt. Oh no! And Romeo then kills Tybalt in revenge. Oh, silly boy. It's not a great start to their relationship, but if you're sitting comfortably, let's find out what happens next. But first, here's a word from our sponsor. Meatballs, meatballs, cheesy, cheesy meatballs. Lovely cheesy meatballs. Hey, you're feeling hungry? Craving for a meaty feast? Then pop down to Giuseppe's Meatball Takeaway right after the show. You won't be disappointed, I guarantee it. Oh, meatballs, meatballs, cheesy, cheesy meatballs. Lovely cheesy meatballs. Oh, don't know about you, but I'm going to hot-tail it down to Giuseppe's after the show. I do love a meaty feast. Anyway, enough of that. On with the show. Beginners, please. And cue curtain. A brief introduction from our lovely narrators. Angela.
Hello.
Robin.
Hello.
And Karen.
Hello.
And all together.
Hello.
Oh, lovely. And on with the show.
Our tale comes from Verona, Italy's fairest city. The story is a sad one, and the ending isn't pretty.
It concerns a lovely lass. Juliet is her name. It tells of love and heartache, and it is a crying shame.
Romeo is our hero. A handsome-looking lad. He'd got a reputation. Some said he was a cad.
He went to Capulet's party, and being a bright spark, he wore a mask upon his face to keep them in the dark.
Oh, he was ahead of his time, wasn't he? Scene 1. Earlier that same day when we first meet our dashing hero.
Romeo was returning from a night out on the town. Mercutio was wondering why his mate was looking down.
I am Mercutio, and I am Romeo's cousin. But I'm not the only one. I'm one of half a dozen.
And I am Romeo, the hero of this play. So will this be a tragedy, or in fact, my finest day?
Ah, you will, my Romeo. You do not look too well. Do those bags beneath your eyes have a tale to tell?
Oh, Mercutio, I'm so miserable. I'm someone you should shun. The girl I worship and adore just wants to be a nun.
Wants to be a nun, you say? She can't be worth that much.
If I were you, my Romeo, I'd kick her into touch.
But she's a real stunner, with hair of golden silk, eyes as blue as sapphires, skin as pure as milk.
Who is this girl you speak of? Do I know her name? If you ask me, I'd have to say she sounds a royal pain.
I'm sure you do not know her. They call her Rosaline. And I would be a lucky bloke if I could call her mine.
My friend, you must forget her. Listen well to me. Cast your net more widely. There's more fish in the sea.
More fish in the sea, you say? That I do not doubt. But I want an angelfish, not some battered trout.
Hey, we're going to that party thrown by Capulet. There'll be lots of foxy ladies there. We'll solve your problem yet.
We cannot go to his house, a man whom we despise, not unless we wear a mask and go there in disguise.
So they made schemes and plans to sneak into the hall, to gatecrash Old Cap's party and enjoy the ball.
Being such a swell occasion, no doubt it would be full, and our love-lorn hero, Romeo, couldn't fail to pull.
Scene 2, where we meet the fair maiden of this tale.
Meanwhile, back at Capulet's, the other side of town, Julie's mother broke some news that made her daughter frown.
I am Julie's mother, and for her I want the best. She needs a perfect suitor, but must forget the rest.
And I am Juliet, young and sweet and pure. I want a real man, of that you can be sure.
Daughter, listen carefully. I've a bone to pick with you. Paris wants you to be his bride, and he's in a right old stew.
But mother, Paris is too old. He's frail and thin and weedy. His eyes are close together. Ugh, it makes him look so seedy.
He is a kinsman of the prince and extremely well-to-do, and is very well connected. You know, his blood is blue.
But Mumsy, I'm too young to wed. I'm only just 19, and when it comes to fellas, well, I'm not really that keen.
Now listen, girl, he's coming here to attend the ball. To give him the once-over will do no harm at all. Look him over carefully and see if his face fits, and, well, if he doesn't suit you, then we'll call it quits.
Even though the mere idea fills me with dismay. As I'm your loving daughter, I'll do what you say.
Marriage to an older man really ain't that bad. If you don't believe me, look at me and Dad. It's true, you couldn't say your dad's a man of action, but he's good. And honestly, I love him to distraction.
But I want a man who is young and strong and brave, not an ancient codger with one foot in the grave.
Do not be too hasty. Now wait until tonight, and I promise you he won't look bad. Well, not by candlelight.
Mrs. C wants a son-in-law who is well connected, but Paris won't be happy when he is rejected.
So does a fate worse than death await our hapless wench? To marry an old misery guts with a face like a welder's bench.
Scene 3, later that night at Capulet's ball. All socially distanced, of course.
Pray tell me, my friend, who is that maid? Her lips are full and sweet. Can you introduce me? That girl I'd like to meet.
Oh, give it a rest, old Romeo. For heaven's sake above, you meet a new bird every day and always fall in love. This sweet young thing is not for you. Do not be confused. If her father catches you, you'll end up more than bruised.
I do not care for what you say. It's plain as plain can be, and the others don't mean anything. She is the one for me.
Romeo went up to give her some smooth chat, but she was playing hard to get and was having none of that.
Hello, gorgeous. Pray tell me, do you come here much? Well, she's a little bit standoffish. I think I've lost my touch.
Oh, my heart, it is fluttering like a little dove. But I will not let him see that he's one I could love.
Julie, when you smile at me and your lashes flutter, my knees, they go a wobbly, and my heart melts just like butter. Ugh.
Flattery, my Romeo, won't get you far. You will get your just desserts if I tell my pa.
Julie, I must tell you, I would be in bliss if I could hold you in my arms and give you one small kiss.
Oh, Romeo, you've got some cheek. My nerves, they are a wreck. Don't let Daddy see you. Okay, but just a peck. Wow, what a saucy lad you are. I thought you weak and puny. I said just a small one, but that was a great big smackaroony.
My chat-up is too obvious to win a bird so stunning. She is so shy, I'll have to try a plan which is more cunning.
So Romeo left the party, not knowing he'd been seen by his rival Paris, a jealous man and mean.
Scene 4. Later that evening on the balcony outside Julie's bedroom. Ooh, saucy.
That night, Romeo climbed the orchard wall. He had a head for heights, but he had a bit of trouble and got ladders in his tights.
He stumbled round the garden to find his one true love, then spied a candle flickering in a window up above.
The girl was fondly dreaming about her newfound beau.
A dude like him is hard to find. He's really cool, you know.
He heard her voice a-lisping.
Oh, Romeo, my Romeo, you know my love is true.
So he cried,
I'm here, my love, and I don't half fancy you.
Shh, don't yell so loud, my Romeo, or you will get a flogging.
Then meet me in the graveyard, and we can do some snogging.
Oh, Romeo, to see you I couldn't be much gladder. But if we're going to elope, well, you should have brought a ladder. I'll meet with you tomorrow night. I can't resist your charms. I shall not get a moment's rest till I am in your arms.
Hooey? Julie? Julie! I am Julie's nurse, plump and fairly jolly. But to think that I'm stupid will be nothing more than folly. I must keep an eye on her and keep her out of shame. But if she chooses to ignore, then I won't take the blame. Julie, you should be in bed. It's very nearly dawn. Who is that you're talking to down there on the lawn? I hope it's not that saucy lad you were kissing at the ball. If your daddy catches you, he won't be pleased at all.
Don't be silly, Nursey. There is no one there. I was only humming as I brushed my hair.
What did you think of Paris? Was he up to scratch? I think you ought to marry him. 'Twould be a perfect match.
I prefer that Romeo. He's tall and smooth and hunky. Paris is too old for me. He looks just like a monkey.
Oh, come on now, it's getting late. You should be in your cot. If you stay up any later, you'll get me shot. Now, tuck yourself up, me girl, for I must be away. You'll feel different in the morning on a bright and sunny day. Sleep tight.
Farewell for now, sweet lover. I'll see you soon, I swear. But only if you promise Your wedding ring I'll wear.
I know you are a good girl with innocence and virtue. I promise you, my sugar lump, I never will desert you.
So they went their separate ways, dreaming of tomorrow, not suspecting it would bring much sadness, grief, and sorrow.
Oh, I say, I don't know about you, but that's got me all hot and bothered. Oh, and here's a quick message from our sponsor.
If you're feeling rather hot and you want a cooling pot, pop down to Gina's Gelato. If you're in a spot of bother and you cannot see your mother, pop down to Gina's Gelato. We have got strawberry, we got lime, we have got chocolate, we got pineapple. We have got every single flavor that you want. So if your girlfriend's in a mood or your boyfriend's rather rude, pop down to Gina's Gelato. Yeah, no, it's gonna make you feel real good.
And on with the show, scene 5. Oh, but what's this I hear you say? On the streets of Verona, something is occurring. Oh, I hope it's nothing bad.
You want a tights? Hey, girl, you must see her.
Later the next morning, after Capulet's dance, Paris met tough Tybalt purely by chance.
Paris was feeling rotten because of what he'd heard. Juliet was saying she would never be his bird.
I am Paris, a rich and powerful man within the town, and suitor to young Juliet, who has hair like golden sunshine, whereas mine is a muddy brown.
And I am Tybalt, with muscles large and tight. There's nothing I like better than to have a messy fight.
Tybalt, this must be the worst day of my life. The fair Juliet is saying she will never be my wife.
What makes you think she's not that keen? The fairer sex are seldom saying what they mean.
Last night at the ball, I think, no, actually, I am certain she was snugging Romeo behind the velvet curtain.
That's no problem to a man like you. Just pick a fight and run him through. She'll soon forget him, have no fear. With Romeo dead, your path is clear.
Come off it, Tybalt. You know the score. The duel on the street is against the law. My uncle, the prince, won't be impressed if I ventilate Romeo's chest. Besides, he's fast and fit and bold. And I am slow and scared and old. The way that he can thrust and jab, I'll end up like a shish kebab.
Don't worry, Paris. For the price, I'll cut up Romeo slice by slice. I really do dislike that creep, so my friend, I'll do it cheap. Trust me, Paris, you can depend on Romeo meeting a sticky end. Have no fear, I'll keep my word, and Juliet will be your bird.
So Paris and cruel Tybalt now had a cunning plan, and all the dreams of Romeo were going down the pan.
Scene 6. Later that same day, Romeo and Mercutio bump into that nasty Tybalt. Oh, he's such a brute.
Romeo went out for a stroll. Of Julie he was dreaming, how to win her for his own, an elopement he was scheming.
I must beware of Paris, for he's a jealous man. To stop him marrying Julie, I need a crafty plan.
He didn't notice down the street Tybalt was coming by. If he picked a quarrel, one of them would surely die.
Who do you think you're looking at? Do you think you're brave? Look at me like that again and I'll put you in your grave.
Say what you like, I don't care. I won't fall in your trap. You're trying to provoke me, but I don't want to scrap.
You're a coward, Romeo. Your wrist, it is all limp. Now I'll spread it all around the town, you really are a wimp.
Here, you cannot let him say those things. Show him you're a man. If you won't fight him, then I will. I'll kill him if I can. Come on, Tybalt, have a go. Let's find out exactly how you feel when you're lying in the gutter with a belly full of steel.
To challenge me, Mercutio, your brain is out to party. I'm brilliant at sword fighting and a black belt at karate. Hiya!
You cad! Ouch! Oh, you beast! Take that! Feel my steel! Ow! Ow!
Romeo! Oh, Romeo! I'm wounded. I think my end is near. I'll no more see the rising sun or the friends that I hold dear.
Oh! 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 Oh!
Now, cruel Tybalt, do me the honour. Draw your sword again. I shall have my sweet revenge for my friend who you have slain.
Mercutio felt my cold steel and didn't like the tasting. So if you think you'd like a try, I'll oblige you with a pasting.
Finally. Oh, dash it all, what have I done? Now I'm in big trouble. The blood just rushed straight to my head, and now I've burst Tybalt's bubble. When my crime has been revealed, there'd be a dreadful row. Oh, Capulet would never let me marry Julie now.
So Romeo then fled the scene of his awful crime. He knew that when they caught him, he'd be serving time.
Even though he had displayed bravery and courage, it wouldn't do him too much good when he was doing porridge.
He had to find his girl and flee to another land. He'd meet her at the graveyard, just as they had planned.
Scene 7, deep in the forest at the monk's cell. Ooh, rather them than me.
Meanwhile, back at Cap's house, the news was going round, and they were all determined to track the villain down.
Juliet just sat crying. She'd heard the allegation. Romeo was the killer, much to her consternation.
She knew that their relationship was now dead in the water. Old Capulet would never let a Montague wed his daughter.
She went to see a wise old monk to ask for his advice, and told him her dilemma with a summary concise.
I am a wisely monk. I have a skill with potions. I live amongst the forest folk. But why? I have no notion.
I'm supposed to marry Paris. My dad, he is insisting, and he is very angry because I am resisting. He wants me to marry now. That's the new arrangement. But I want him to agree on a proper, long engagement. This will give the time I need to run away and hide. Romeo will be my groom, and I will be his bride. This man, he is just perfect. faithful, kind and true. The only problem with it all, he is a Montague. My family hate his folks, and his lot all hate mine. Successive generations pass this feud on down the line.
You have a sticky problem, dear. Of that, there is no doubt. I must confess, I'm at a loss of how to sort it out. I can see from your condition, you're in a right old mess. I can give you a prescription to help all the stress. Before you take the potion, give it a good old shake. Be warned, take just one spoonful, or you will never wake.
So Julie took the bottle, not suspecting it would be the reason why this story is called a tragedy.
Seen it already? Oh! Well, later that same evening in the graveyard. It's not very romantic, is it, eh?
Julie was early for their meeting and feeling agitated. Took a small sip from the bottle, then lay down and waited.
Romeo went in the tomb, saw Julie cold and still, so he swallowed down the poison and began to write his will.
Oh, Juliet, to find you dead, my heart is broken aching. What is this? Could it be you were only faking?
I lay down here to have a kip, 'cause I was feeling sleepy. Come on, let's go, my Romeo. This place is cold and creepy. My Romeo, I love you so. You are a handsome hunk. Why do you stand unsteady? Could it be you're drunk?
No, my love, I took that stuff and now I'm feeling funny. My legs have gone all wobbly and my nose is slightly runny. Julie, please don't be annoyed. I know what you were thinking. Please believe me when I say that I had not been drinking. When I found you lying there, stiff and deathly pale, in my despair I drank this stuff, and it's not just ale. I'll soon be up in heaven, dear, with the angels flying. Oh, Julie, you can't help me now, because, my sweet, I'm dying. The stuff I took is lethal, that much I fear my end is near. Oh, Julie, hold my hand a while. I'm feeling rather queer.
Oh, Romeo, don't leave me now, in this our finest hour. We loved not wisely, but too well, and now it's all turned sour. Romeo, it is my fault. I awoke too late. Please, wait for me a little while at the pearly gate. You shall not go, my Romeo, without your faithful wife. You should not be alone, my love. I'll end it with this knife.
Juliet found her lover's knife and in her bosom stuck it. Let out a most horrific yell. And then she kicked the bucket.
The end! What? Really? Is that it? Oh no!
Now the show is over and I'm feeling rather sad. Let's get something lovely to eat. Get down to Giuseppe's where you're guaranteed to find a very tasty, cheesy piece of meat. You're guaranteed to love it, it really is so good. It's molto bene, just like
Hold
Mama's
on a
food.
bit. Surely that can't be the ending. I cannot bear to be a part of something so offending.
My friends, you all have heard by now this story so alarming of lovers Jules and Romeo, who was a true Prince Charming.
But why, I hear you ask at once, did Julie have to die? Couldn't the bard have written a script that wouldn't make you cry?
Time has passed and notions changed to something more appealing. So isn't it within our power to dispel this awful feeling?
If Will was alive today, he'd change the script he wrote. And then our dearest Romeo might have an antidote.
So let's just rewind a bit and see what we can do. We don't want to leave you all in misery and gloom.
You may recall the final scene. In the graveyard it was set, and Juliet had just arrived. No Romeo as yet.
Julie was early for their meeting and feeling agitated, took a small sip from the bottle, then lay down and waited.
As the monk has said, the potion was strong and delivered quite a kick. So it wasn't long before she closed her eyes and soon was fast a kip.
True to his word, our Romeo was to the graveyard soon, and spied his Juliet, so sweet, gazing at the moon.
Oh, Juliet, my Juliet, how come you sleep so sound? Could it be this potion that I have nearby found? Your lips like cherries, I cannot delay this opportunity to miss. I'll see if I can wake you with just a single kiss.
On bended knee, with puckered lips, our Romeo did crouch and planted a smackaroon right on our maiden's mouth.
Oh, Romeo, you cheeky thing. Advantage you did take. Now you must do the decent thing and a proposal you must make.
Oh, Julie, I'd be so happy if you would be my wife. But we must surely flee this place and begin another life. I know a land where we could go, far away across the sea. We'll build a house and have some kids and live quite happily.
So off they went, hand in hand, with smiles and quiet laughter. And now we have a much-deserved happy ever after.
Oh, hurrah! The much better end. Oh, thank goodness for that. Now I'm off to Giuseppe's for a meaty feast, and I suggest you do the same.